let's watch this one. We had watched part 1 before, so it would be cool to watch part 2. So to recap, for those of you who didn't see part 1, it's basically like some guy like spent 1 hour making like the base for a game, and then he gives it to like other devs, and if every dev has like 1 hour or sometimes a few hours to like add some stuff, and then everybody, you know, one by one add some stuff. So before it was like 25 devs, so today it's like 25 more. So let's see what they add and how the game progress. Last time I think it was like some kind of like magic arena shooter kind of thing. So this is by Blackthornprod.
100 devs make one video game, but there's an insane twist. No communication between them is allowed. This is the biggest game dev collaboration on YouTube. And in part 1, the first 25 developers built a beautiful 3D world complete with spell casting and a demonic wizard boss battle. So what will the next developers come up with? Can they keep improving this game, or will it descend into complete chaos?
That is the question.
The first time that a promising project turns sour after all. So with that said, get ready, put your seatbelts on, we're in for a crazy creative...
I mean, game projects go to shit even when the devs are communicating, so yeah.
...the ride with some legendary game devs, starting with Nomrom.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed is that this game is surprisingly more comprehensive than I expected. At first I just made some basic tweaks, adding sound effects, changing certain values, etc. I was a little taken aback by this random white cube, so I decided to add some highbrow story with this wizard guy, and then I threw in a music track for the first level.
Okay.
Finally, I loved the parrying system and wanted to expand upon it, so I made enemies be able to parry projectiles back to you at a higher velocity and damage. This way you can get into these sort of ping-pong battles with explosive results. I thought it might be overbearing, but the slow-mo makes it manageable.
It seems very cool.
I think that's all I got in me.
Hey everybody, Joe Sullivan here, I'm glad to be back. After experimenting with the game, I wanted to add verticality to the player's movement, so I went with the absolute classic, bouncy red mushroom.
Of course.
This gave the player an advantage and made the combat easier, so I balanced it by making a new mid-air enemy, a flying skull that rains fire.
Okay.
Good luck everybody, and thank you Blackthornprod. And if it's your thing, grow spells in Floromancer on Steam.
As always, I guess this series is an excuse for like some of them to
Nardev, and this is what I
kind of like advertise their game, but you know, that's a fine thing, right? No problem with it.
For my part. First thing I noticed is that there's an old removed 2D hand design that fits in with the theme much more than this 3D hand. So I changed it back.
Wow.
I also changed the parry ability to a 2D shield I drew up, because it wouldn't fit to have a 2D and 3D hand next to each other. Anyway, I also made a few invisible barriers so you can't escape the map. I made the level design a bit better, I cleaned up the lighting and added a new goblin enemy, along with making the floating skull into a spawnable enemy, because before there was just one skull and you didn't even need to kill it to complete the level. That's it for me. Wishlist size fader on Steam, and see ya.
So yeah, sound effect and a twin when there's no mana. I think you could poop when you have no mana. There's this toilet, so I think I will implement pooping. You cannot poop when you have no mana.
That's what we needed, definitely.
Now, when you poop, you generate poop mine.
In the beginning, there was but one rule. Do not touch the eternal toilet. Despite the warnings, the devs were drawn to it. Eventually, even the wizard army that the devs had made to protect the toilet were drawn to it as well.
So he's making a story for it.
The wizard said things like, "Oh, I really need to use the toilet. Where else am I supposed to poop?"
Wow.
The devs, outraged by this, decreed that all wizards must relieve themselves wherever they stand and vanish the evidence.
DVD. That's what it is.
I know. What a weird thing for them to say. Just like really, really weird. Regardless, any wizard found attempting to touch the eternal toilet was immediately sent to the dungeon. I will be guarding this door, and there's nothing you can do to get past me.
So what he made is like a prison if you touch the toilet, which the toilet is just an Easter egg. That's a lot of work for an Easter egg.
Even if you were to void your bowels and throw it at me, I would not let you pass. Ah, my one weakness. How did you know?
Hey, it's Bryden, the developer of Lighthoof. The HUD was getting pretty full, so I moved things around based on urgency. To fit the body part theme, I turned the XP meter into a green brain. I was dying a lot from behind, so I spatialized the enemy sound effects into 3D and implemented this threat indicator system on the HUD. Last, the unlockable spells looked awesome, but they were weaker than the default light shot, so I pushed each one in its own unique direction. Now light shot is like a pistol, Eat Your Greens is semi-automatic, Ice Blast does damage deserving of its charge time, and Flame Wave hits hard, but it's expensive and it's slow moving. I also designed some quick and dirty sounds to add some juice. Lettuce was harmed in the making of this video.
This was just the beginning. Things are going to get absolutely crazy. But first, quick heads up, we've just launched our brand new game making course in collaboration with successful indie game developer.
That's the best dressed game dev I've ever seen.
Called Game Dev Hero. It's absolutely enormous and filled with every bit of info you need to turn your passion for game creation into a profitable career. You'll not only learn how to make game art, code, design fun games, but also how to sell them.
Was it 1,000 or 33 that?
Ultimately make money from your creations. Basically living the indie game dev dream in a couple of months if you start now and give it your all. The course is only available for 1 month and there's barely 300 spots available, which means now is the time to leap headfirst into your game making dreams. Don't wait for another tomorrow, guys. If
okay, so I guess I thought it was like you know, just like something to read, but no, it's like they're gonna coach people, so fair enough.
But becoming a game creator, this is the time, this is the moment. Okay, with that said, guys, let's move on to the next developer.
I am Strumpy, a 16 years old game developer and YouTuber, and today I am very excited to show you my progress for the game. Okay, so I started by opening the project, and who is even Klaus? Anyway, the first thing to do was to add fire to the torch, because before that there was literally nothing. Some spell, I guess, then improve graphics and lighting. After that, I had the bright idea to add some special spells like Firelight for obscure space and a satisfying tornado attack.
The lighting difference is clear already.
I also need to go to school every day, so I didn't get that much time to fully concentrate on the game. But anyway, then after getting home, I added some camera effects like head bobbing, falling, and reception effects. I also added some camera shake for bullet and special attacks very quickly. And this pretty good dash effect that makes the game look way faster. And then I made a low HP effect and
such a difference from
the game volume
even a few days ago.
Is low HP.
It seems much more hardcore.
I added a new enemy, which will be a witch that drops these 4 types of potions, and started making the second map before running out of time. I want something like the Prison of Hope level of Demon Souls.
Yo, my name is Edward and I'm part of Shady Gorilla Games. I started by fixing a couple of bugs and drawing some replacement UI elements. Then I replaced the main menu, settings, windscreen, loose screen, spell selector, level up screen, and finally tutorial text. I also increased the item pickup distance and I
It's funny because in like today's video, someone made all that, right? Someone was like, yeah, I'll make this. So basically like anytime, like so far, you know, some of them add new stuff, but some of them are like replacing the old stuff, which I wonder like how much drama these videos create. Like, you know, the other day must be like, you know, why did you replace my stuff? Did you not like it? Was it terrible? Come on.
One random tree to cover the boss. Except finding some cool bugs, that's it for me. If you like my work, don't forget to check out Shady Gorilla Games. See ya!
Hello everyone, my name is Anton and here's what I did for the project. I fixed a few bugs. I made the player and some other objects into prefabs, like they should be. I toned down and cleaned up the camera shake because who and why would jump like that? The second level was
actually after like we talked about it, was it yesterday? Yeah, I started watching the recent John the King video about Yandere Dev because I realized like the last Yandere Dev video I'd seen was like 4 years ago, so I started watching the John the King one to like get up to date on the situation.
So I made one.
And I was like laughing myself. I totally forgotten about the meme of like he used to basically like make videos saying people stop sending me email. I can't quote the game because I need to reply to email. And he would make video literally like being so mad that people sent him emails and, you know, using it as like an excuse. I can't quote the game if you send me email. Stop sending me email. It was so funny. Boom Chalice.
That were unused and decided to go for more of a dungeon look. Made a new intro for the second level and that was it for me. And if you like what I did, please check out Jello, now on Steam.
Hi, my name's Puddle. When I opened the project, I noticed 2 conflicting art styles, low res and high res, so I threw a pixel shader on and called it a day.
Okay.
I added some highlight beams to the poop so you could see it easier in the tall grass, and added a health bar to the boss so you knew how close you were to killing him.
I'm gonna say someone's probably gonna remove the shader.
Level editor screen, and decided to throw together a quick desert map just in case anybody wanted to expand upon this in the future.
Yo, 80% of you guys watching are not yet subscribed to the channel, so if you want to see even bigger collaborations and more exciting, ambitious videos, then like and subscribe as a huge support to the channel. And with that said, let's get
20% people subscribe is pretty good, to be honest.
When I tested the game, two things bothered me. We are fighting wizards, but where is the dragon? You can't have a fantasy game without dragons. My plan was easy. A pooping dragon.
Oh my god.
I drew one, animated it, and put it into the game.
It looks pretty cute.
And as we all know, when you add something to a game with a clear goal in mind, it will work just fine. Oh my god, this is a brown eruption if I have ever seen one. Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay.
Did he just kill the witch with his excrements?
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
He definitely pooped her to death. Crap.
So it's fighting the other enemy too.
Be more like a carpet bomber and dropping his droppings all over you. And with that, my mission is accomplished.
Okay.
Dragons are flying around, throwing down some brown, and if you aren't careful, you will find yourself surrounded by their dung. I don't know where this game is going, but have fun.
I don't think anyone knows where it's going.
I'm Lazy, the developer of Amber's Tale, a truly non-linear Metroidvania. If this seems like your cup of tea, check it out on Steam. First off, I introduced some unique hand sprites, missing a few fingers, but just like some of the other devs, I couldn't figure out how to add them to a specific ability. So now the lore is that the evil wizard doesn't take too kindly to those meddling with the eternal toilet. I noticed the game needed a softer introduction to its core mechanics. God knows I was confused running outside to see 5 dragons sprinting at me, leaving a trail of caca. Now you start against a single enemy, learning that defeating foes unlocks doors, along with some of the features provided by some of the other devs, like jump pads. Instead of just having the fecal throw, which wasn't the easiest to use, you now choose from 4 abilities, tailoring the gameplay to your preferred playstyle. I also made a shader for the enemies that added an outline to help with seeing them, especially in the darker rooms.
Oh, you have no idea how delighted we were when we saw that the project now included multiple levels, but only one boss yet. We are a 2-person team working on a boss rush game, so we knew instantly what we had to do. We wanted to incorporate mechanics from previous developers in our boss fight, and we noticed there are quite a lot of poop-related things.
Okay.
There was a fully voiced toilet narrative. With
this is what happens, right? Like this is what happens with Starrel. Like someone had made one tiny trash can joke, and then all the devs were like, "Yeah, let's continue the trash can joke." And now, like every update, there's some trash can stuff. I guess this is a good example of what happened. If anyone needs an explanation, like, you know, one dev does it and everybody likes it and they keep doing it.
Cinematic. There was a new dubious diarrhea dragon dastardly dropping dung down on the player, but most noticeably, there was a pooping mechanic.
Wow.
And poop throwing. We can work with this. We started by fixing some issues in level 2, which were preventing the doors from opening properly. We copied the original boss, put it high up in the center of the boss arena of level 2, and prevented it from moving around. The next step was to give the boss an attack. We noticed how this beautiful Ice Blast projectile had a customizable shader, so we made good use of that. We then added gravity to the projectile and made it so the boss shoots out bursts of them in a random direction.
At this point with
Finally, we made it so each projectile spawns an enemy upon hitting the ground.
Whoa.
We could have called the boss finished here, but we still wanted to make use of that poop throwing mechanic.
It's too much.
To do that, we made the boss immune to damage. The only way to temporarily get rid of that immunity is by throwing poop at it.
Okay, that's cool.
Our artist was working hard on sprites for the boss, so in the meantime I made some stunning placeholder sprites. To communicate the boss's immunity to the player, we added different hit flashes per state, and we implemented some subtitles that hint at poop being the solution.
Okay.
Our artist finished the boss sprites, and with that our boss was done.
Looks pretty cool.
We changed a few other minor things in the project. We attempted to restore the broken hit flashes that were implemented by Aya, the 3rd ever developer to work on this project. We managed to kinda get it working on sprite enemies, but not on the first boss's mesh renderer. And that was the end of our time, so good luck to the next developer.
Sup, I'm Ayrdas. I run Muliv Studio YouTube channel and work together with my teammates on a mind-bending puzzle platformer, So to make things a bit more interesting, 3 of us from Muliv Studio decided to work together. Thomas worked on coding stuff, Migla did some art, and I focused on the gameplay. The first thing that we did was upgrade level 1 by making the map bigger, adding a huge tower and making the levels high, more dynamic in different sections of the map. And I found these cool mushrooms that you could bounce off of. So it took some time to add a parkour section that you need to finish in order to climb the tower.
The game is really taking shape.
Some UI changes, made the icons look cleaner and easier to read, unified the text fonts to the Minecraft style. Wait, what? There's motion blur?
Oh yeah, fuck that.
So now we can disable the motion blur as well as change the font to a more
that should have been like
readable one.
what the first did, you know, like make an option so you can disable it.
After that, we pixelated the level selection scenes to make those fit within the game style. Then we worked on adding a new enemy type.
I love this visual style. Gnome.
Whose main goal is to be very talkative and annoy the player with his voice.
I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. And you've been gnomed.
We even made a pumped up
version feels like it was 20 years ago.
that could be used as a boss. Hopefully the next developers will give him some cool spells though. Oh yeah, and we noticed that someone left this cute dog's picture in the project files. So we got an idea to add a new level called Heroes Hall, where we took pictures from our pets and placed them in this glorious hallway.
One rule.
And I just had to leave my mark on the eternal toilet. Which let's have and check out our YouTube channel.
The state of the project was quite advanced already, so I decided to keep it simple. And the first thing I did was adding a field of view slider, because whoa, I'm getting dizzy for real. Next, I realized there was a slight issue with the stairs, so I fixed that and I added a small UI indicator to display how to change the spells, because even though it's written here, it took me a while to realize. Lastly, I made a new poop model since the original one was made out of cylinders. I made the doors destructible,
which is more realistic poop, to be honest.
And finally, I added the banana. Yes, I had to add it. Anyway, that's it for my part, and see you next time.
Hey, I'm Boostas, a developer at Jamfall Games, and for this challenge I'm joined by Nikki, our sound engineer. We're working on a story-driven survival game set in Antarctica. Make sure to give us a follow for upcoming devlogs and other game dev shenanigans. Digging around, I found that the colliders and spawn zones were all kind of messed up, so I spent quite some time fixing those. I really like the spell selector some other devs did, so I improved it a bit by allowing to toggle it using tab, like some other games do, for example Witcher. I also added some slight color variation to make it clear which spell is currently hovered, and slow time down when the player was in spell selection mode. Enemies were hard to see, which I later found out was caused by a missing shader graph package. Installing it and regenerating materials seemed to also fix the XP and other orb look. Hitting enemies was satisfying, but the small numbers made my hits feel insignificant, so I just made them larger. Then Nikki sent the boss track over. As I loaded it into the project, I saw another track of a similar style. I added both of them to the first level, switching between them when the player enters the boss room. I played the game, and at some point I started speedrunning it. So I added time tracking functionality, set up the UI and some gates. Now we have an MVP speedrun tracker. Hopefully some other devs expand on it, like add a leaderboard or something. I sprinkled some Easter eggs around the game, and then I started implementing multiplayer, but I ran out of time, so now we have just this. Good luck to the next dev.
What's this? Let's make a better ending. I added La Toilette, some sound effects, animations, timeline. And in the end, I got this.
Eternal toilet.
You can now touch the toilet, wow. Must be what people wanted.
Hey, I'm Emilkowski Dev. I had just a couple of hours to work on the project. Let's start cleaning. I first scrapped some problems with the options, because some of them didn't exactly work as supposed. Then, oh boy, the game's performance was very unstable, mostly depending on the direction we're looking. There are hundreds of objects that have tens of meshes inside them. But if we just wipe here and there and there and there, we can nicely improve the FPS count in some cases up to 250%, and at the end, let's hang a picture of my cat in the hole of cards.
I added a cheese bell to the game because I thought it'd be neat if you could cheese the game. I also added some decorative crates, free models courtesy of Kai Kit. Then I added some cheese to the awesome finger pistol sprites, but I didn't manage to integrate them in time. Hopefully someone else will.
Remember to wish those you didn't care that much about cheese, yeah.
Here we can see the cheese illusion spell in action, sending a ton of Gouda particles flying.
So the first thing I decided to do...
Last guy fixed FPS, the next guy had like so much particle and visual stuff, and probably tanks FPS again.
Was add a throw sound to whenever you throw poop. That way you really get that exciting feeling when you do throw poop in real life.
My one weakness.
Now I noticed that the enemies were difficult to see, so I ended up increasing their metallic value, and what this actually did was when they're rotated away from the sun, you can still see them. I found it really difficult to see the enemies. Now, while I added a bunch of poop sounds, I also wanted to just add a jump sound for the player. The jump sound was subtle, and I didn't want to delete that sound effect, so I actually just added a grunt sound.
Okay.
Onto the jump sounds. And so now we have random jump sounds.
All right. It's taking shape.
Levin, and I'm a game developer who makes video essays. There's a lot going on in this project, so it took me a while to get acquainted with the game. But once I finally did, I decided the last thing it needed was a new system. So I'm going to use my time to be a bit of a janitor. I'm going to clean up bugs, polish some things, and
again, some things here, like who does what? Like some of them, they come in and they have no interest in like cleaning anything. They're just here to add something. And then you've got the guys that come in and it's like, yeah, this is such a mess. I need to clean it up. Only for the next guy to add some more mess. It's funny.
Unfinished features. I started by improving the parry. I really like parries, so I made it feel even better whenever you successfully parry a bullet, making the shield grow and flash white. I also added an animation that plays whenever you unsuccessfully parry, which just has a shield appear on screen and then disappear, making it easier to learn the timing by giving you a visual. I then went in and implemented some of the unimplemented armor effects that were in the game, and the big one was increasing damage for a certain type of spell. And to do this, I had to make an array of dictionaries to hold all these different values, but it ended up working. And I also did all of this.
Okay, welcome guys to Wizard Battle Arena. We're not going to mention the subtitle. I'm confused for sure.
Okay, well that title really scares me. I'm afraid of what the hand might have turned into this time, you know what I'm saying?
Dyslexia fonts, what the? I don't have dyslexia, but I can't read. So.
Thing.
There's no way my hand.
Yeah, the hand
is back. That's
up.
great, except for 2 fingers.
So I can grab perfectly modeled and textured turds. Just try and throw it at the wizard. There we go.
Oh, the game looks really nice. The lighting is cool. The effects are nice.
I mean, the processing is pretty crazy.
Post-processing is doing its thing.
Wow, insane, beautiful artwork. Love the skybox. Love the vibrant colors, and also how everything kind of like turned into pixel art now.
This is pretty cool. Like way different. The level design.
You know me. Freaking know me.
This is like a full level. And we're only at 50 devs? That's crazy. We're only halfway through.
Ooh, the dash is nice. I like the movement a lot. This is cool. Especially combining it in the air. Like, it feels very good.
Why are they so hard? My cursor keeps going off the screen, which is kind of an issue.
All right, we're at this intimidating dwarven gates. Let's blast it open and...
Don't open the door, you blast it.
Boss battle. All right, here we go.
The parry is really generous, which I don't think I'm a fan of that. I feel like the whole point of a parry is to be a high risk, high reward form of dealing with incoming damage. Though I guess it makes the game playable for Aya, so if he's the target audience, then maybe it's good that it's so generous.
Hold on. Oh.
It is impossible.
Okay.
Especially with my cursor going off the screen continually.
Wow. Wow.
Boom. Okay,
the clear difference between like, yeah, the difficulty and what the devs think of it, yeah. One is like, this is the easiest thing, the other one is like, this is so hard.
Not sure if this stage is bugged, but there are no enemies spawning at all, and it only gave me the light shot spell at the start, which crashes the game when I use it.
Like a cocoon or something. Is there anything else in here? Just a cocoon? So this looks not finished. I don't know.
Didn't they finish
this? Losing health?
Was it supposed to walk the bus?
Oh. Hello?
Yeah, I think this is bugged out.
Either I'm missing something or the scene from this level is like an enemy manager or something.
Come on. No! So, incredible work. I'm not sure what to say here, guys, but the best is yet to come. We're only halfway through this project still. So if you want to be notified when the next episode releases, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you really soon. Remember, guys, that our brand new course we've built in collaboration with Thomas Brush, the Game Dev Hero, is only available for the next 30 days, and there are only 300 spots available. So hurry up if you want to grab a seat and take this crazy opportunity.
Alright, well, pretty good. I mean, again, like, there's a real float thing now. The game feels much more like an actual game. There's cohesion between everything from art style to gameplay, so very cool advancement, yeah.